Greetings VC, Andy here again, and this is the second part of my roundup of October new releases. So I bought 8 in total again, too many to do in one video. So last week I did 4, and now I'm doing another 4, no particular order. What I've done is try to mix them up in style and genre. So let's get started, and this is a cracker, and it is the Warrington-Runcorn Newtown Development Plan. Now, I've talked about this project or series before. So basically, the Warrington-Runcorn Newtown Development Plan is a project by a guy called Chapman Fox, who comes from Lancashire in northwest England, and he makes music which is only to him really inspired by the Warrington-Runcorn Newtown Development Plan. Now, if you've not seen me talk about this, or you don't know anything about it, basically Warrington and Runcorn are 2 towns roughly sort of halfway between Manchester and Liverpool, and sort of pretty much on the border of Lancashire and Cheshire. And back in the sort of 60s and 70s, they were developed or expanded because they were existing towns on a very planned basis, like a number of other new towns, as they were called in England. And basically, they had a huge plan, you know, a massive town planning thing, all in sections of particular sort of subject areas, and that guided the development for it. It was a sort of a loose blueprint, I would say, rather than an exact, something which guided the development over several years. And this one is his 6th outing in it, and it is called Public Works and Utilities. And that does what it says on the tin. So basically, Chapman Fox is a composer. I think he's not a songwriter, he's a composer. And his orchestra is a whole bunch of analogue and vintage synths and drum machines and stuff like that. And he makes fabulous music with it. It's electronic. It's instrumental, though there's one sentence spoken right at the end of the last track. And this particular one, I mean, it does what it says on the tin. It's public works and utilities. So, you know, it's all the stuff to do with that. And, you know, like one of the 5 tracks on side 1 is called Water Treatment Works. So there you go. And side 2 is taken up by the epic The People Matter, which takes up the whole of the side and is really, really good. I love this album. It's just brilliant from start to finish. If you like electronic music, it's not house music or anything like that. It's music to listen to. It's very resplendent on the sort of black and red half and half vinyl. Now, last time, so part 1 of this, I talked about thinking about sort of changing the style of the samples I do, and I asked for people to sort of leave a comment on what their preference was, and thank you all for doing that. At the moment, it's pretty even Stevens, to be honest. There's nothing to do. I haven't counted them up exactly, but I think there's only 1 or 2. You know, it's probably, if it's anything, it's like 48-52. It's that close. So I haven't decided yet. So I'm splitting 2, and the first one is going to be a video of the needle drop itself, and then the second one is going to be my older style, where basically I rip the sound directly onto my computer. So generally the sound quality is better than that, but it may be less interesting visually. I don't really care. I'm a bit 50-50 myself, though. If you want to change whatever you said before, you didn't leave a comment and want to now, please do, because at the end of the day, if it's 50-50, I'll make a choice myself, and I haven't decided. So moving on. And for the second album, we come to another band which has been around for a fair old time, who have produced a new album, and it is Idlewild. And Idlewild, so it's another one of those self-titled albums which wasn't the debut. This is their 10th album. I was somewhat shocked to discover. Scottish indie rock band led by one Roddy Woomble, who in my head is known as Roddy Womble, and Brits of my generation are the only ones that's going to make any sense of at all. So Idlewild started out in the late 90s, really as a sort of post-punk band, but they sort of in the early 00s, they really sort of softened their style to probably their greatest period, starting in 2002. Excuse me. With the magnificent The Remote Part, brilliant album, and then the next couple of records after that. And I don't know whether to say whether they lost their way or I just lost interest in them, probably the latter, towards the end of the 00s. So I've not really sort of, other than those albums I've got from the mid 00s, I've not really gone back and listened to them much. But this came out, and I sort of read a couple of reviews just immediately before it came out. I thought, it sounds interesting. I went for it. Because I was always fond from it. I'm glad I did, because this is a bit of a return to that sort of mid 00s period when they were at their best. It's a return to form as well with it. So I wouldn't say it's a case of them regressing, but more that they're sort of reigniting their strengths, but for today. So this is quite varied. You've got a couple of anthemic-ish tracks. The two openers, so the opener of side one, Stay Out of Place, and side two, Make It Happen, are sort of quite heavy is the wrong word, but they're proper indie rock. And the vocals soar every now and then. They've got some decent sort of, there's quite hook heavy with good riffs in them, and it kicks off both sides very nicely. Then you've also got a couple of more melodic ones. So the second and third track on side one come in, and they tone down a little bit, not massively, but they're more melodic. They're not anthemic. They're more balladic, if that makes sense. There's almost a feel of REM about them, but not because they sound remotely like REM or anything like that. It's just more perhaps in the style of the song. And there's some gentler moments too. So the Mirror Still, which closes side one, is much slower paced than the other tracks on side one, but it's quite atmospheric as well with it. And then Permanent Colours, which is in the middle of side two, has, there are moments where it gets a little synth pop, but not, not really 80s synth pop, but there's some good guitar riffs in there as well. A nice album, pleased with this, and it is it's a classic 10 tracks, 5 on each side, and it's on blue sort of marbly vinyl.
It's okay, it's okay. It's important that we've stayed out of place, but I'm glad that we stayed here for a while. That we live.
And I always talk about the two, I have a Fuzz Club membership and I have a Rough Trade membership. So there's always an album of the month, and I'll come into those two now. And the Fuzz Club one is from a band called Upupayāma. And this is Italian psych rock. Excuse me, Upupayāma, if I'm saying that correctly, is essentially a multi-instrumentalist and songwriter called Alessio Ferrari, as in the car. And he's had 3 studio albums since about, only in the last sort of 3 years. And then this is a live album. So it's actually called Live at Fuzz Club Festival 2025. So this was only recorded in May, live. And on here, whilst he's a multi-instrumentalist, on here live, he's got a full band, so he's just playing rhythm guitar and essentially and singing, and he's got all the others, and I really like it. It is late 60s, early 70s style psych rock. It's in part heavy, but also got that sort of like 60s. You've got a lot of flute playing in there, loads and loads of wah-wah guitar all the way through. It's one of those, it's typical. And I ought to say, there's some ethereal vocals come in every now and then. It's typical fuzz club psych rock, you know. It's one you put on and then you think, oh, I need to turn it off a bit, and it really gets going. This one is numbered. It's number 78 out of 500, and it's I'm not quite sure what the label connection is, but they played at Fuzz Club, which I think is why it's Fuzz Club members, you know, a Fuzz Club release. But it's actually on the Rubber Duck label, and what a great name for a label! And as you can see, it's on red vinyl. So now we come to the Rough Trade album of the month, and this is one which, when it arrived and I opened it up, because I'd sort of read something about the band and my heart, well, I'm exaggerating to say my heart dropped, and I thought, oh God, this isn't going to be very good. But it is brilliant, and it's a band called Say She. I really like this. It's their third release in just 3 years, or 3 or 4 years. They're three girls from New York, and basically they're playing disco. Now they call it discodelic. I call it disco funk because it's really, really funky. The three girls are essentially a vocal trio, so they do all the singing, but you know, supporting them is a really tight funk band, and it's got that real 70s funk feel to it. I think it's a delightful throwback to the 70s, to be honest. The music is retro, very much, but the lyrics are today. So I confess I don't really sit and listen to them, but they're singing about the things that are bothering them. So there's misogyny, there's racism, there's feminism, and lots of stuff like that. To me, it's foot tapping, funky disco. It's really, really different from the stuff I normally listen to, but I kind of love it. It's very welcome. And let's face it, at the end of the day, we all like the Bee Gees, don't we? Secretly or not. And a Rough Trade. It came with a little postcard with a description in there. And this is a really good description, I think. It says, coming on like the bastard daughters of Chic, ESG, Talking Heads and Rotary Connection, self-confessed disco-delic soul group Say She are back with their third and best album. Super funky music that has something to say. Live, they are on another level, so get out and catch them. You will not be disappointed. It came, usually with Rough Trade album of the month, it came with a bonus CD, and there's 4 live tracks on there. I haven't actually listened to that yet, but I'm going to leave it out to listen to, and it's very, very, it's 12 tracks, single LP, and it's very resplendent on a sort of red and black splatter on a clear transparent vinyl. So
take a moonshot, let it slide. Throw a curveball, catch a ride. Over to the rainbow of the night. Never had disco life. Never had disco life. Never had disco life. Never
So there you go. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, let me know which type you prefer, and if you want to change whatever you said last time, do. It doesn't really matter. I'll start on one or other of them in January when I've made my mind up based on your feedback, and which I think is better myself and more and easier to do. So thanks for watching. Cheers.